There's certainly a lot to like about the St. Louis Rams. After winning only 2 games in 2011, Jeff Fisher, in his first year as head coach, turned it around in 2012. The Rams finished 7-8-1, but they were a little bit better than their record would indicate. This was a good competitive team. They were in just about all of their games. That made them an excellent team to bet on. The Rams 11-5 against the spread last year. They showed they could play with just about anybody. They finished 2-1-1 against San Francisco and Seattle. Those were the 2 best teams in their division and 2 of the better teams in all of football. So there's a lot to like going forward. They have some good young players, especially on the defensive side of the ball. The Rams finished top half of the league in both total defense and scoring defense in 2012, and they led the league in sacks with 52 sacks. They have some good young defensive linemen, and they re-signed one of those guys yesterday, defensive end William Hayes, agreeing to terms. So Hayes will be back, as will guys like Chris Long, Robert Quinn, Michael Brockers. They've got some players up there, and they've got some players in the secondary as well. Veteran cornerback Cortland Finnegan still playing at a very high level. The other cornerback, Janoris Jenkins, had an excellent rookie season in 2012. Looks like he's going to be a long-term answer for the Rams. Now, they might have a couple of new safeties next year. They released veteran Quentin Michael for salary cap purposes, and Craig Dahl, the other safety, remains to be seen whether he's going to be back next year. He's due around $5 million. And they also have a new defensive coordinator. Tim Walton comes over from the Detroit Lions, where he was the secondary coach. Now, Walton is the defensive coordinator in name, but we know this is Jeff Fisher's defense. The Rams technically did not have a defensive coordinator last year after Greg Williams was suspended by the NFL due to his role in the New Orleans Saints bounty scandal. So Fisher was even more hands-on than usual, but we know Fisher is a defensive guy. His fingerprints will continue to be all over this defense, but Tim Walton is officially the new defensive coordinator in St. Louis. Now, the Rams need to improve their offense. 25th in the NFL in scoring offense last year. Not a whole lot of weapons surrounding Sam Bradford, and the Rams don't have a whole lot of weapons under contract right now. They only have 3 wide receivers under contract: Brian Quick, Chris Givens, and Austin Pettis. Not a whole lot of experience there. Their top 2 wide receivers from last year, Danny Amendola and Brandon Gibson, are both free agents, and remains to be seen whether either one of those guys is going to be retained or brought back. Brandon Gibson, it looks like he's as good as gone. Amendola, I thought they were going to bring him back. It was clear that he had a rapport with Sam Bradford. The Rams' offense was different last year when Amendola was on the field. Now, he did miss some time with injury. He broke his collarbone. But over the last couple of days, it's starting to sound like Amendola might not be back in St. Louis. So they're going to have to do something through free agency or the draft. Now, they did something yesterday by signing tight end Jared Cook from the Tennessee Titans. Cook is a tight end, but more of a wide receiver. As a matter of fact, he wanted to be franchised as a wide receiver if the Titans were going to franchise him. That, of course, would have brought him more money than being franchised as a tight end. Not much of a blocker, but an excellent receiver and a guy who can really run. He gives Sam Bradford a viable weapon for years to come, because they're really taking a chance on this guy, giving him a lot of money. $35 million over 5 years, $19 million guaranteed for a guy that's only started 11 games in his career. So the Rams taking a little bit of a gamble, but this is a guy with a lot of upside, a young guy, as we said, a real receiving threat who can really run. So they've started to add some weaponry for Sam Bradford, but that must continue. As we said, they only have 3 wide receivers under contract. And Steven Jackson, the franchise's all-time leading rusher, who's been a St. Louis Ram ever since he came into the league in 2004. He voided the final year of his contract, as was expected. Jackson will not be with the Rams in 2013. They've got a couple of good young running backs in Darrell Richardson and Isaiah Peed, but they might add somebody else at that position. But whatever they do, whatever additions they make on offense, Jake Long, the left tackle of the Miami Dolphins, it's thought that the Rams might pursue him in free agency. Whatever they do, they're in good position to do so, because they've got 4 picks in the first 3 rounds of April's draft, 2 first-round picks. The Rams picked 16th and 22nd in the first round. They got the Washington Redskins' 22nd pick. So though they don't have much room under the salary cap, now that could be increased if they do things like release safety Craig Dahl, a move they might make. They already released Quentin Michael, as we said. They already released offensive tackle Wayne Hunter to free up some space. We'll see what they do in the coming days and weeks. Look for them to continue to add to that offense. Jared Cook is one piece. They will add at least one more wide receiver via the draft, probably, maybe in free agency. We mentioned Jake Long, the left tackle of the Miami Dolphins. He could be a guy they target in free agency. If the Rams can upgrade this offense, they could be a serious contender in 2013 because they already have a good defense in place, and under Jeff Fisher's guidance, we only expect that defense to improve in the future. As I said, a lot to like about this team. I expect them to be a contender in 2013 and beyond.